Welcome to Cisco Tech Beat, the podcast that explores the people and stories behind what inspires the newest innovation. I'm your host, AB, and I'm happy to welcome Snorre Kjesbu, SVP and GM of Employee Experience at Cisco. Snorre leads a global organization for collaboration employee experiences, including devices, calling, meetings, and suite, combining over 20 years of engineering experience with a passion for design to deliver authentic user experiences. Snorre, welcome to Tech Beat.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Me too. I'm so glad we're here. And I know you're very familiar with this office, but it's just nice to be here in person talking to a real person.
And you know what? One thing is New York, it's the pulse and everything. But you know what? The office we have here in New York as well has that pulse.
Yeah.
The way we redesigned it, the way it's actually pulling people in, being a magnet. When I walk here, it's like I bump into people and we start discussing and we have ideas flying as you walk in the door. It's magic.
That's right. In fact, you just randomly ran into somebody from Norway, which is where you're from. You had no idea she was here. So
I had no idea. And that's the greatness of this. And then a lot of great ideas come out of people when they actually meet and you get ideas flowing.
Love it. Totally. We're going to talk more about that, ideas and the office experience. I want to talk about the current tech industry in terms of AI, because a lot of people have referred to it as the Wild West. That's because a lot of AI tools are everywhere, and companies, they're not really even sure how to implement these tools, how to integrate them into their businesses. So what do you think the biggest barriers, I guess, are for companies that are not sure how to integrate AI-powered collaboration within their businesses? And are there any real-world examples of how we can make that better for them?
No, absolutely. And if we kind of dial it back for every company, there are two things that they're facing. One is, how do they implement it into their products and offerings and services?
Right.
The other one, how do they use it themselves in their organization to be more effective, to get more work done, to work differently? And I think that both of those are key. And if we dive into both of those, if we start with the first one, which is, how do you actually integrate these into your products?
Right.
I think that it's very, very easy to just put everything into one and almost create a stew.
Right.
I call it an AI stew.
Love it.
And I think that the challenge is to be able to actually break it out into different dishes with different clear ingredients. And the way we've been thinking about it in collaboration is that we've been thinking about this in 3 levels.
Okay.
We've said that you need AI at the edge, you need AI in the cloud, and you need AI for manageability and observability.
Okay.
And as soon as you do that, you start getting components that you can actually use into all of those. And,
right.
If we start with AI at the edge, it's having the capability to do things like cinematic experiences, and I know we're talking more about that later.
Right.
But using technology all the way out at the edge to get that AI and the smartness happening out there. And we've been working on that for more than a decade. Then in the cloud, it's all the things around large language models. It's about summarization. It's how you take actions. It's inserting information in, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And then the third one, which is around control and manageability, that is that if you look at most organizations, they work a lot on the tools for the people that are using collaboration.
Right.
But you have the ones that own and operate. They need the tools as well to run these mission critical things.
Sure.
And that's when you need to think about, how do you use AI there to make sure that you can run that, scale it, and actually use that as well. So I think that when we think about AI, it's coming. It's the biggest shift probably in our lifetime. And it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
I always talk about bucketize, which is try to create it into the right areas and try to attack them one by one by one. And when you see that, then you have the ability to start working now.
Yeah.
So I think that's one piece of it. How are organizations using it within their organization? Then you have the other one. How do you change the way people work? How do you change the way the tools people use? And I think this is going to be paramount. this transition is bigger than anything we've seen before. If I ask you now, how often do you use Yellow Pages? You will look at me and have a blank set of eyes, right?
Right.
We've been Googling for some time.
Yeah.
This is a shift that is much bigger than going from Yellow Pages to Google, because you can actually not only find information, you can actually have a dialogue, you can have a discussion, you have an intelligent partner that's there with you. That's going to impact all the type of roles in a company, whether that is a software developer that can have help writing software, write software faster, that can actually get more development days out, more efficiency, higher quality. But it's also for product management, they can have this as a discussion partner. It's for marketing, they can use it for leadership, actually testing out ideas, getting information, etc. This is going to be absolutely ubiquitous in any organization. So one is how does it impact your products,
right,
and how does it impact the way you work? And we need to drive that, and and all organizations need to drive this. And super excited about it, by the way.
Yeah, I can tell. Great time to be doing this stuff.
Yeah.
So on that note, how long have you and your team been working on this?
At Cisco, we've been working at this for a long time. And, we started actually a decade ago. And it's kind of a interesting story. So being Norwegian, I was born with my skis on. So my biggest passion in life is actually, after work, I would say, is actually to ski.
Love it.
And after work on a Friday night, I would love to jump in a car and drive to the mountains and go skiing. The problem is that there is a lot of big animals roaming the roads, like an elk and a reindeer, etc.
Right.
So in 2015, I bought a car that had an infrared camera that could detect big game and warn me beforehand.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah, and which saved me multiple times.
Right.
And I thought, this technology is super interesting. Who's making this technology? And at that time, you have to remember this is a decade ago, it came back that it's a company called NVIDIA.
Yep.
And I thought, and who? And today, it's on everyone's ball card, right? And then we started working with them because we thought, okay, whatever technology we have together with their AI capabilities, machine learning capabilities, we could actually use this for collaboration, to recognize people, to do camera tracking, to do face recognition, do people count, and all those type of things. And we started that over a decade ago, and we have a number of algorithms and a number of technologies we've been developing over a decade that we're putting together to really create the solutions we have today.
Love that. I love that. And all influenced by a ski trip, which had technology in your car to see animals. I love that. Let's move on to design and the implementation of the right design and the tools that we use to do that. Because organizations, I've heard you say that organizations can foster richer, more meaningful connections through design. So how do we at Cisco approach that? What are some of the challenges that we overcome to make that happen?
So I think it always has to be, quality is always priority number 0, so to say. That's sort of the basics for operating. The second thing is focus on the user experience. Because technology should be the supporting actor to the main act. I jokingly say to our developers that we should win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, never the Oscar for the main act. What I mean by that is that technology should not get in the way of. It should do what you expect, when you expect it, at the right level, so that the discussion that's happening in the meeting, that's happening in that room, that's actually going on, or whatever you're doing, technology should support that.
Right.
So I think that if you start with basic user experience, you start with great design, it is such a good foundation actually for getting a good output out of a meeting. Right. And we have been design-driven, and we are design-driven. It provides the right tools. It allows our solutions to be friendly. You're drawn into them. You're not afraid of them. It should be approachable.
Yeah.
I put it like this, that what we're trying to do is combine Scandinavian minimalism with Californian approachability. We call it Scandinavian design.
Okay, that works.
Because what you want is that you want something that's sleek and nice, but approachable.
Right.
If you get that right, the solutions become easier to use, but you also get the longevity of the products, and they last for a lot longer, which is great for everyone.
Absolutely. Speaking of tools, you and I were kind of joking before about WebEx because we just met for the first time in person. And it's funny because when you see somebody on a WebEx call, you're not sure how tall or how short that person is. You're a little taller than me, of course. But you said something really interesting about the design of how WebEx, basically how WebEx treats each person on screen. Can you just go into that a little bit?
Yeah. So one of the key things is that we want everyone to have an equal place at the table. Mm-hmm. Regardless of whether they're in the room, whether they're calling in remotely or wherever you're at.
Right.
So one of the things that we strive to get to is to make sure that everyone has the same presence. Mm-hmm. So what we try to do is to make sure that people are eye height.
Yeah.
So they're at eye level. So you basically get the same presence in the meeting. We also try to make sure that people look roughly the same size when that's possible. What you do with that is that you create an equity and an equality actually between people that are actually in the meetings.
Right.
And these things matters. And we talk a lot about our North Star. Mm-hmm. And our key North Star to what we do is what we call distance zero.
Okay.
What we try to do with distance zero is to make sure there is no barrier between people that are remote or people that are in the room. There are no barriers between different participants.
Right.
And that also you can participate and observe any discussion as an equal seat at the table.
Right.
So, because that's what we naturally would do as well as humans if we are together. We would turn, we will realize where a discussion is going in the room, where is the axis of the dialogue happening, and we are mimicking all of this actually as well with remote participants.
Sure.
And also driving that really vision of distance zero between everyone in a meeting and equity.
I love that, and it's really important. It's not something that I think about a lot, but it makes a lot of sense because when you are working remotely, even if you're leading a meeting and you're very comfortable with the people you're working with, you can often feel a little bit displaced or feel a little distant because you're not there in person. And it's these little things, which I know are not little things, that really help even the field and make people just feel like they're participating, no matter where they're calling in from. So,
yeah, and it's as simple as this. You're having a dialogue going in a room. The decision maker might be in the room or remote. Mm-hmm. You want to read that person as well.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That person might not say anything.
Right.
But that person might be absolutely key. And, if that person starts making funny faces or dozing off or something, you're probably not on the right track.
That's right.
And I think that we're taught to read visual cues like that from we are very, very little. Yeah. It is natural to us as humans. So it's all about natural communication.
Right.
It's by being seen, by being heard, by having the same presence. That is key to really, really good use of these type of tools.
Absolutely. Totally agree. So obviously technology is really important, and advancements in technology help drive how we work at work or at home. But there's a role that leaders play. So I want to talk to you about that. Like, what's the importance of that, the culture of a company, and how leaders play a role in when it comes to technology and and the workplace?
It's paramount, and I think that the focus we've had at Cisco, where we've said clearly that the office should be a magnet.
Yes,
I think is essential. What would it take to create the office a magnet? First of all, the venue has to be better and offer things that you don't have at home.
True.
We're comfortable at home. I mean, we have the right chair. We can go to the fridge and snack and everything. But so how do you do that? You need to create a venue where the technology is better and the venue is better than what you have at home.
Right.
The second thing is around what are the type of things that you will do in the office. That is really when you ask people to come in, it should be for the right things. It should be for a creative session, a brainstorming session, for discussions, for really when people need to be together. And between those, you might want to sit down and do some work as well.
Right.
But pull people in for the right things. And because you need to earn that commute.
Yeah.
You need to earn it both from what you want to achieve and also that the venue is right. And then the third thing, you need great coffee.
Absolutely.
And why do I say that? First of all, I can't function without my coffee.
Right.
But it's something else. You need informal venues where people get together, despite where they are in the org, despite whether they're marketing or sales or engineering or whatever. Because when you're waiting for that coffee, you will talk to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you will have unexpected creativity coming out of those informal meetings. So when I say good coffee, everyone smiles and laughs, but it's actually dead serious because it's about creating the informal venue. So I say there are three things needed. Get in for the right type of tasks.
Yep.
We need a venue that is better than what you have at home.
That's right.
And then you need great coffee for those informal discussions. When you get this together, you get much more than the sum of the parts here. And one thing that's close to my heart is that there are a number of things that can be done really well remotely.
Sure.
But there are a couple of things where it's really great to see each other. One is when it comes to building culture, building purpose.
Absolutely.
It's essential.
Absolutely.
Number two, it's actually for coaching and driving new talent, people that are new into the organization, etc. When you walk past someone's desk and you see them feeling a little down, and you say, "How are you doing?" You and I can read their response.
Yeah.
By being able to read that response, we might get a dialogue going.
Yeah.
Because waiting till Friday at 10:30 to set up a meeting is very different than when you bump into people during a day.
That's so true.
And I think that the key things in building a culture is the purpose, what we want to do together, the products we want to make. I mean, great design, as I just spoke about, and great quality. I mean, that drives us, right?
Sure.
But it's also the camaraderie. It's learning from each other. And senior people in an organization, they have an obligation to be there for new people that are new into the org, etc. And I think that that's when the office actually plays a massive role when you walk past each other and it's like, how are you today?
Yeah.
How are you really doing today?
Yeah.
Oh, that meeting yesterday was a little tough. Okay, let's break it down and sort of get that dialogue going. So I think get together, build culture, build purpose, coaching, super important.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. So with the proliferation of AI, there are a lot of new security challenges that are emerging. Here's my question. Why Cisco when it comes to security and AI and all that entails?
So it's the right question to ask. And why Cisco and why Cisco collaboration? I put it frequently like this. And we're very, very unique here. We are the only player that has a contact center meeting calling suite backend. We have an app and device frontend and build on a layer of AI that we use pervasively across. Then we stand on the shoulders of the rest of the Cisco architecture with the best networking on the planet, with the best security solutions on the planet.
That's right.
And then manageability, observability with things like Thousand Eyes, things like Spaces and Control Hub.
Right.
That is a super unique solution because it's not point products. We fuse security together with networking. We have Thousand Eyes across all of our products that can actually provide that from all the way out at the edge and through the entire network.
Right.
We have some components at Cisco that are absolutely unique. We use AI in all of these stages ourselves to make these products much better. And then we're also then working with new solutions that are actually able to take those security threats that we see real as well. And by fusing security and networking together, we get a massive upper hand on those type of things. And then having collaboration on top of that provides us with the right tools and with the right approach there.
I love it. Yeah, there's nothing we can't do. It's great. Let's go looking to future-proofing the workplace, which is something that's really important for a lot of companies, and not everybody knows how to do that. So what are some of the key technology components that leaders should think about when they think about how they're going to future-proof their businesses?
So we're not talking about coffee again?
Oh, we're going to talk about coffee. Oh, we can talk about coffee. I mean, but I got to tell you, as a person originally from Jamaica, I have a true love of coffee because Jamaican coffee is known to be the best, if not one of the best.
Yeah. So now when we've gotten the coffee out of the table, so how do you future-proof the workspace? So
yes, right.
Jamaican coffee, we're there, right?
You're already there.
But after Jamaican coffee, here's the thing. We spoke about it a little earlier. One, you need to earn the commute. That's one thing.
Right.
However, now there's so many tools coming in as well.
Right.
And the tools we see on the AI side are absolutely tremendous.
Right.
When we see the uptick of functions like summarizations, note-taking, translation, taking actions, that's just the start. Right. I think all meetings now at Cisco, we take a summary, we use an AI agent to take a summary, to provide the actions. If you're late into a meeting, you are asked, do you want to be caught up? You can actually see what has happened before you actually join the meeting.
Yeah.
You know who's in the meeting. You have all of these tools that already makes all meetings more efficient. You don't need a note taker and someone to summarize and take the actions. They are there already when you walk out of that meeting.
Right.
That is now pervasive in the way we work. And we see this uptake now. It went 5x the last quarter when I look at our customers out there. 5 times is what happened last quarter on using this. This is just the beginning. You have seen nothing yet.
Right.
Because what we will have is that we will have AI to be a virtual television producer in every single meeting. It will be the right shot of you. It will be the right shot of me. It will realize that you and I are talking together.
Right.
It will frame the decision maker that might be in the room as well. You will be able to seamlessly go between all of these type of shots so you really get the context of the meeting.
Right.
You will have AI agents that will help you and provide proactively information into meetings, into discussions that will help, which will pick up what you're talking about. This is going to absolutely change the way we operate. It will be pervasive in everything we do, in every type of role in a company, whether you're engineering, whether you are finance or legal or leadership or product management, everything.
Yeah.
That is how big of a shift this is. And we see it very, very clearly on what's happening. And that's one side of it. The other side of it, I mentioned it in the beginning. I said, we at Cisco provide solutions to 2 users. Mm-hmm. The ones that use our products and services, the ones that own and operate them.
Right.
For the ones that own and operate them, they will have literally new powerful tools that will give them superpower. Right. They will be Superman going forward.
Right.
And they will have tools that can even do agentic and can actually proactively take actions that could sift through number of pages and solutions and everything and very, very quickly. Things that used to take days to figure out will be done in minutes. So what we're doing at a company is that we're actually developing solutions for both of those. And you can see that I'm almost jumping up and down in my chair here. I'm so excited about the capabilities and what we can do with this. This is the biggest shift in my lifetime.
Yeah, and that's a bold statement and a true statement. And, of course, aligning with what Cisco thinks about AI and how we utilize it in our technologies, this is something that's going to help us just be better. It's not a replacement thing. It's a thing to help us be more productive. And I use it every day in work, and I'm looking forward to more tools.
Yeah, and I got inspired by G2. G2 said that he spends time every day playing with these tools.
Right.
And I thought, that's a very good idea. So I take half hour, 45 minutes every evening, and I play with tools.
Yeah.
And I'm positively shocked every night at what it can do.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the type of discussions, the type of feedback I can get, the things I can create, and all of these tools. And I think that in any organization, this is transformational.
Yeah, I totally agree. I wholeheartedly embrace it myself. I want to step away from work for a second, and I want to touch back upon your huge passion for skiing, because I wanted to ask you, is there a place that you haven't skied yet that you're going to have to go there and hit the slopes?
Yeah. So why skiing? When you have a pair of skis on your feet and you're trying to get down that steep mountain, the concentration is absolutely total.
Yeah.
If it isn't, the feedback is harsh and immediate. So just the thing and the way of decoupling from everything else in life, just being outdoors in the snow, getting that perfect line down that mountain is just a way of thinking about something else.
Yeah.
Where would I love to go? I've relocated. I now live in the United States.
That's right.
So I now ski a lot of places in the U.S. Tahoe is obviously close to California. But I have a dream of skiing northern Japan. Because they get so much light powder snow.
That's right.
Did you have to bring a snorkel?
Yeah. Yeah. I used to live in Japan. I didn't ski there because I'm not a very good skier, but a lot of my Japanese friends ski, and that's one thing they always said. It was like, it's almost like when you go to Colorado and you have a huge snowstorm, and it's that flaky, that puffy snow that you can just, you can just lose yourself in it. It's like cotton balls. That's great. Well, I'm sure you're going to make it there at some point. And on that note, I think this is a great place to bookend the conversation. Snorre, thank you so much for coming in. I know you've got a busy schedule, but to be able to come here and have us chat in person here in New York City has been great. And I look forward to future conversations about everything from skiing to coffee to technology, you name it.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. And it's wonderful to be here in New York.
Love it. Take care.
Thank you.